What's up, gamers and geeks? Matt here with That's Fair Podcasting and Gaming Geeks Live. And in this video, I'm going to talk about Exodus from Archtype Entertainment. Now, Exodus is an upcoming space single-player driven RPG, much in the way of the Mass Effect trilogy, and there's strong Mass Effect vibes, and for good damn reason. Now, this video's release date was announced at the VGAs here in 2025 in December, on December 11th. And it's Archtype Entertainment with their first ambitious IP, and with former devs of BioWare. I'm going to tell you why it's worth the wait in early 2027. So stay tuned. Now, I won't lie, I was extremely giddy. In past videos, everyone knows that my all-time favorite video game ever is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. And when I saw FOTOR, the small trailer for Fate of the Old Republic, I was giddy. I was a freaking kid in a candy store, man. I'm not even lying. But that is not the number one game I'm waiting for. Ironically, even though KOTOR is my all-time favorite game, I was most anticipating Exodus because, again, with former BioWare devs now in Archtype Entertainment, they have already had the market cornered on a great space age sci-fi RPG, and this game shows to be no different. But if you are new here, please feel free to subscribe to That's Fair Podcasting or Gaming Geeks Live. Please like that video as you've been doing. You help us in that algorithm. And if you don't do any of those things and you just watch another video on Exodus and why it's my most anticipated upcoming video game, now early 2027, thanks for sticking with me. I appreciate it. Now, as I've said, Exodus clearly the old school, more like with updated engines and everything, but an old school space age sci-fi RPG where it's going to have a lot of strong vibes of the Mass Effect trilogy. And again, that's because of the older devs that worked for BioWare at the time of the Mass Effect trilogy's release, and some having even worked on the original KOTOR. So it's going to be another one of the usual typical space age RPGs where you're going to have companions. You know, you're going to have, it looks as if you're going to build a team, but in this one, there's going to be, let's start with the romance options. We'll go there. The romance options are going to be aplenty, probably more than we're used to for a first time IP in what is going to be a series. Hopefully we're looking at another trilogy, but I believe Archtype Entertainment has plans, long-running plans for this IP, and for good reason, because honestly, with these guys at the helm, this is going to be a success. Now, given the state of these relationships, it has been released that a lot of it will be either romantic, political, or just like a bond, a strong friendship bond, or even business related. So in this, you're going to have different relationships for different areas. You're going to forge bonds with people for several different reasons. Now, as you know, the quick outline is that Exodus takes place 40,000 years into the future, where you play as the protagonist named June Aslan, who is a half human and half celestial. Now, for some reason, Earth is no longer, I guess, a functional planet, so arcs were created and to save humanity shipped out. Now, if you fast forward 40,000 years into the future, human evolution has evolved in what is also known as the Celestials. Now, there is some known on the Celestials, but we do know that humans and Celestials are more or less at war with one another. And you as June Aslan, the protagonist, which I can almost guarantee it's going to be a create a character, create your gender, customize them. Good old school BioWare feel here. And, you know, being half human and half celestial, your ultimate goal is to find celestial equipment. Now, I don't know if that's to help either side for sure yet or not, but because you're half celestial, you are able to function with this celestial equipment that humans otherwise could not. Now, Drew Karpyshyn, I believe from BioWare, but he's one of the major developers of this game. He has he's gone on the record as basically saying that they are appealing to the romantic relationship as well as the other strong bonds formed in different relationships. He wants to stress that, Drew wants to stress there's going to be a lot in the way of personal relationships with your cast or your crew, which is kind of exciting because, again, decisions you make are going to have a serious repercussion and net serious results, be it good or bad. And but he emphasizes romantic, platonic, political, and even business related relationships in this. Now, again, as I've said, a game full of consequences based on a lot of your choices. But Chad Robertson, another dev, has stated, many of us hail from BioWare, and we are very proud of that fact, which, given the games that they worked on, they should be. But they also said, our main goal is to make a standout sci-fi RPG that fans can identify with and enjoy for decades to come. So, having said that, Chad Robertson is talking about decades to come with this franchise. So they have a lot riding on this first Exodus, but I don't think it's a chancy type of ride, because realistically, we're wanting the old school dev feel from the old school Mass Effect that we got. And with Drew and Chad, I can guarantee you we have just that coming out with Exodus. And Archtype Entertainment has the mindset that if the formula is not broke, then what's there to fix? And they have, Drew Karpyshyn and Chad Robertson have that mindset. Look, we're going to stay with what we know. We're going to stay with what's worked. And they've got the right mindset. Again, if it's not broke, what's there to fix? And they're moving forward with Exodus. And I got to tell you, man, this game, I'm anticipating this game more than any other game right now. And that includes all games coming out in 2026, which is going to be a pretty big year. Now, stating the obvious, we're going to have obvious upgraded engines with familiar RPG mechanics, the relationship building, of course, as I've said, and the leveling up system will be there as well. And it's going to be one of those games, too, where it seems like, the customization that you put into your character, you have different paths, I'm sure. If it's anything like Mass Effect, where you have the different classes like the Adept, the Soldier, the Engineer, and the Infiltrator. I know I'm leaving some out, but, you had that, and then you had different backgrounds. So looking forward to seeing what your protagonist, June Aslan, has as far as his background. Now, I do know that at first you start off as what is known as just simply a salvager. But over time, you get recruited into being a traveler. And again, you're half human and half celestial. Now, whatever's going on between the Celestials and the humans, if you dig deeper into that, you can. I believe it's an ongoing war, but again, I believe that June Aslan being half and half is going to be more or less caught in the middle. Now, when you play this game, it will take place as humanity is already on the brink of extinction. And your job, your primary function in this game is to literally search out and fight against the technologically superior Celestials in order for the human race to survive. So in that category, it does sound like you're pro-human in that regard, because humanity is on the brink of extinction as it is. But being half celestial and half human, again, you'll have a major advantage when finding and using the celestial technology, apparently, against these Celestials. And you will go on missions to find celestial tech. You'll return home, and it has been said that you'll return home. The technology is to advance science, is the stuff so what the technology you'll find, you'll be building weapons with, crafting weapons with, whatnot, or you can donate it to science to enhance humanity in order to fight against the Celestials. Now, there is a time dilation in this where time will pass differently as you are away on these missions. But the traveler, in the home planets, you'll be gone for some period of time, but time is different as you're gone versus time on the planets. And when you come back, you can come back to what is known as a changed world. So you're going to be gone for a specific period of time. When you get back, so much has changed. So with the difference in time while you're gone, difference in time passing on the planet, so much has evolved and changed over time. That's something to look out for, because you as the traveler, you don't know how far into the ends of space you're going to be going. Now, as is the case with Mass Effect trilogy that you remember, your companions will have different loyalties and different skill sets, but all of them fit in a perfect narrative to be extremely crucial to the missions that June Aslan goes on with his companions. So each specific and unique skill set is imperative in many ways, and the developers have really made their skill sets and their background stories matter as far as terms of what it is that you and your team in space are trying to accomplish, especially fighting the Celestials against the extinction or the threat of extinction with the humans. So anyway, obviously the platforms at this point, we're looking at PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. Again, the release date has been pushed. I don't even know if it's been pushed. We never got a release date to begin with. So original speculation was 2026, but guys, early 2027 is fine. Come out after GTA 6. You know, no one wants to be releasing a game on or around that. So, you know, you get it in early 2027 after GTA 6 releases at the end of 2026. Smart move by Archtype Entertainment, because I think this is going to be a huge game coming up. And in closing, for those of you who need that Mass Effect itch scratched, Archtype Entertainment's on the right track, again, with Drew Karpyshyn and Chad Robertson and these former devs at BioWare. And there's other developers from other bigger studios that have also thrown their hat in and are part of Archtype Entertainment. So I think what we're in for is a Mass Effect-esque feel, a familiar feel with a new story with upgraded engine and mechanics. And guys, I could not be more excited. I'm so looking forward to this. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys are looking forward to Exodus as much as I am. But thank you so much for checking out this video. Please feel free to subscribe to That's Fair Podcasting or Gaming Geeks Live. Again, please like the video. Help me in that algorithm like you've been doing. And if you didn't do any of those and you just heard the latest on what we are expecting from Exodus, thank you so much. That's what matters the most. And to all you gamers now and travelers, all love, and I'm outro.